Right, we are live, and it's live. Right, guys, serious question here. Double chunk chocolate cookie or the chicken bake?
Oh, we're getting straight in there.
Yeah, we're getting into that.
I'm going cookie.
No, I agree.
I'm going cookie every day.
Have you not got Boom Talk all over what you guys watch?
No, mine's like
No,
the worst For You page you will ever see.
What's that? Are you guys not aware of the We Bring the Boom universe that's going on?
I have no idea what that is.
Really? You haven't got this
No.
fucking massive American dad bloke going,
No,
double
mine's full of him.
chunk chocolate cookie.
Mine's full of that guy going, "Y'all eat." That you know what I mean?
I've never seen that in
You've
my
never
life.
seen it
No.
with dark matter bricks.
No, I
No.
genuinely have. I have
And
this
he does
kid.
nose day at gym with like a jumping.
Wait, so you don't have any Rizzler on your
No.
TikToks?
No, mine's just food and that, really.
Mine's
Oh,
like
maybe I've
disability
brain.
talk.
I might
genuinely,
have.
mine's crazy.
I might have brain. Yeah, likewise. But
I'm not surprised Toby's like that, to be honest with you.
I've got the American variant. Yeah, but yeah, I'm down in the brain rot. I've got some serious brain rot going on. But anyway, we'll get out of double chunk.
Christ, have we started? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, this. We are live. But yeah, let's actually tuck in. I've tiled the video, something I want to bring up because I think it's applicable, and I'm going to give you some stats. I'm going to shag some stats, show you some stats to kind of back it up. But anyway, George, you must be very happy. Liverpool top of the table, 5 points clear of second place City, and they look miles better than the rest. I think you look comfortably better and have done throughout the season than the other guys. But this marks with, I think, 31. Is it 31 points you're on?
I don't know, a lot.
Or 29. Either way, right? Either way.
5 points more than City.
Yes, that's enough. But it's the second most amount of points you've ever amassed after 11 games in the Premier League. Right. Now, the best was the time you won the league, the 1920 season under Jurgen Klopp. So Jurgen Klopp never matched Arne Slot's tally so far other than 1 year. Now, I'd say this side or squad is worse than when you had your Mane, Firmino, Salah, Henderson, even Fabinho, like that core, Van Dijk, Alisson, etc. And yet he's getting more points on the board because I worded this on TikTok and a lot of people were like, oh no, it's just because City are bad. I'm not even talking about City. I'm just talking about Liverpool. I'm looking at last season's squad. Last season's squad was this squad. It was this squad plus Thiago, really, wasn't it? I don't think you lost really anyone else.
Worse. I think this team
no.
It's that team.
Yeah, I agree. No, this is what I'm saying. This team currently have got more points on the board than any Klopp side previous other than one that won the league. So was Klopp underperforming with this squad? Because what Slot's doing, he's changed the style. He's made you more solid in defence. I think Konate and Van Dijk look a better partnership, arguably the Matip and Van Dijk ever did. And the points on the board suggest that if Klopp couldn't match that with this squad, does that suggest he was maybe underperforming with them, or is it fact, or is Slot overperforming? How are we looking at this?
It's down to the way you play, though, isn't it? Klopp's philosophy isn't like this. This is a lot more reserved. There's men back when we're going forward. We've got to concede less goals.
So that's what I'm saying. So, but it is because you could have got more out of it, as Slot's showing. Do you get what I mean?
But Klopp wasn't playing this style of football.
Yeah, he wasn't utilising it as well. So he was Was he not underperforming then in that sense?
I don't blame him for not utilising it though, because that was his style, right? Do you know what I mean?
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is he could have adapted or changed. Like Pep has had to. I mean, when Pep first came in or whatever, the way that City played is very different to how City play now. Like City moved to that 4 centre back thing that Arteta, parodied. Like you do change with football, and could you argue that Klopp maybe, especially in the last year or two, could have done more with this squad? Because what Slot's showing is and don't get me wrong, the reason that City aren't as close isn't because Liverpool are great. Like City, you normally are a little bit better, and you look more like City will still go on and win it, etc. But honestly, the way they're looking at the moment, I don't really see how they stop you unless they maintain not too big a gap and sign someone in January, because I think they look miles off, and Arsenal already miles off points wise.
I think you're absolutely lost. That Klopp thing's mental. There has been 11 league games this season. 11.
But you're missing the point.
Was Klopp better than your Shankleys and your Paisleys? Is Slot better than them? Did they underperform because
because it's not the same squad. Because Klopp had this exact squad.
It's not all relative,
yeah, but it's due to the fixtures that Liverpool have had. Who have Liverpool played? That's a seriously difficult fixture. They've had Arsenal away,
Chelsea.
What time are you off?
Arsenal and Chelsea.
Who else they had? They've
Man
dealt.
United is not
Okay. Where other people faltered against like Brighton, they've dealt with them. Where other people faltered against Villa, they've dealt with them.
Battered Leverkusen, one of the best teams.
Battered Leverkusen 4-0.
So Skip, are you then saying that Klopp did underperform?
That's what I'm saying. I think Scaife's more. I don't know if you
I'm
realise.
backing up Klopp by saying that it's ridiculous.
I know you are. Yeah.
In the last year, because you're on about the same squad, but 2-3 years ago, it wasn't the same squad as now.
No, it was a better one.
No Henderson, no Fabinho. So he didn't underperform because it isn't the same squad.
No, it was a better. Right? Okay. Do you think the current squad then is better than when you had Fabinho, Mane, Firmino?
No.
Right. So he's getting even more points with a worse squad.
But that's down to a favourable start.
Callum, okay, right. In 9 years of Klopp, do you not think they had one season with like a similar start then?
That's a good point. That's fair.
I can't work out what the point you're trying to make. What's the point you're trying to make?
No. The point I'm making is, which is it in terms of either Slot is overachieving and what he's doing is ridiculous, which I think it is, or equally, you're looking at, did Klopp maybe not get as much out of the squad as he could have, particularly in last year where you look at it's the exact same squad, or when he had an even better squad and yet they had a worse start points-wise on the board?
I think you've got to look at the teams around us as well. Arsenal. This is Arsenal's worst starting years, right? It must be.
No. But Toby's right though with that because he's just talking about Liverpool's results themselves.
I'm just talking about Liverpool. Look, if Arsenal had a great start and City had a great start, it wouldn't be as much of a conversation about Liverpool really look on course for winning the league. It would be a bit more like, no, this is a really tight title race. But just looking at Liverpool, I'm purely looking at Liverpool here in terms of squad they have, points on board. That's what I'm saying. Do you think he's over? No, but it's not to do with the top because City could have won all 11 games or whatever if they were performing at a level we've seen that's freakish, right? Just Liverpool alone, as in, is he overachieving with this squad, or have you kind of started to look at it and go, actually, the way he's using Gravenberch, the way he has us set up defensively, we look more solid and we have more control. Well, was Klopp getting it wrong a bit?
You can't say Klopp was getting it wrong. What are we doing here?
But Slot's getting it so right.
Very good. He's just
that's what I'm saying.
He's not brought anyone with him. That's
that's what I'm saying. He's added nothing to it and made it better. So how was Klopp not getting some of it wrong if Slot's getting it so right?
The first point I made to the style of football that Slot plays.
Right, and Klopp didn't adapt. And Klopp didn't adapt then.
Really, that was Klopp's team were the players that he brought in to play style of football. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
why would he adapt if it's clearly worked before, right?
Because it wasn't working then to the same degree that Slot's got it working now.
For a year.
There was a better way of using the squad quite clearly because Slot's showing it. That's what I just think is interesting. Like this isn't knocking Klopp because obviously what he did at Liverpool was incredible. I just think it's interesting.
Put the question in an email to me and I'll get back to you. I'm entirely lost.
I think it's dawning. I think it's dawning on George that there's some truth to it.
So was Klopp washed? Is the real question.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Was it? Yeah, did not? Yeah, well,
I think.
Yeah, maybe did. Okay, did Klopp's football expire? Maybe, and the squad could have been doing more with it.
Yeah, but mate, that's why I left.
Agreed, but could it? When you look at it now, was it like? Okay, so let's put it this way: with the knowledge we have now, would it not have been? Would you kind of be looking at going, I wish he maybe left a year or two ago?
Possibly. There was an argument at the time, wasn't there? No, there
Clip that shit!
And then he stayed for look at Pep. Then he stayed for an extra year, and then it was a poor season. You got to say, I stand by what I say. The tactics are different. The squads. This ain't the same squad as 2 years ago. Christ, it's the exact same squad as last year, minus Thiago. So he lost a player. Yeah, but
I know Thiago was never really there, so it's fine.
So you're saying you wish that Klopp had gone soon. That's what you said.
If you could have got Slot, exact same.
This makes you think. What if Slot went 2 years ago? Klopp went 2 years ago. Where would we be now? If Slot had a year extra, oh my God, where would we be?
Would you? That's what I'm saying. Would you have? Yeah, no, we are. I'm happy with it. I'm saying,
I agree with you.
Could it have been more? Like, it's I don't know. I think it's interesting because obviously everyone acknowledges how good Klopp was, but maybe there was a point where I don't know, like I just look at what he's getting out of this squad. I think it's so impressive, and I think you're so much less basketball-y, and even like last season where you were in contention for the league till March or so, right? That your game you kept going like 1-0 down, and then you'd win the game, And that's happened like a couple of games this season, but nowhere near to the same extent. There's been a lot of games you've seen out like quite comfortably. Villa, I think Villa, like we'll touch on that now. That Villa game, by 1 minute where they had like a corner and in a corner where Kelleher made 2 good saves, I think, and Digne could have got on the end of something. By that minute, I didn't think you were troubled. I didn't think you were troubled at all.
I think towards the end, before we scored the second goal, there was a bit of problem. However, their corner
Not
turned into
chances,
our
though.
biggest threat.
Yeah, just not. I'm not saying you can see the same amount of chances.
No, we were very good. We were very good. And Villa were a good side.
And like, well, I think because I made this point and I saw Liverpool, a lot of Liverpool fans were saying like, "Oh no, Klopp had injuries, etc." Alisson's been missing for like what, a month and a half now, 2 months.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'm really impressed by Slot, and that's more my point. It's not even so much to disparage someone else. It's more the fact that like what this guy's showing that like. Have you upgraded in current football, which is
so? Can we just go back to this point, right? So Scaife, a Liverpool fan from York, is saying that Jurgen Klopp, Liverpool's best ever manager, should have been sacked last season. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying he should have at the time, but now, given how good Slot's been, it makes you think, oh my God, we've been unbelievable this year. Arguably best team in the world, people say we are. What if that happened last year? What if now we're talking about a manager who's had a year with these players, also had time to bring players in with him? Like, surely you got to ask the question, what if Slot was here last year? No? I might be insane.
Yeah. No, you're not. You're not being insane. What's the problem? I completely agree with you. I think the job he's doing is mental.
I'm Bumstiffer Junior.
But yeah, it's just interesting. I don't know. I just think it's interesting considering how like obviously how high regard he's held, and already you're kind of looking at this bald fella, and he's just killing it with the same players and making them look better. Like Ryan Gravenberch did we even see Ryan Gravenberch last year?
No, he's different. He's a different beast altogether.
Crazy. Yeah, but either way, you're top of the league quite comfortably because not only did you win, City lost again. This is what they do now. They 4 on the trot, 4 on the spin. To be honest, you know what? First half they should have been out of sight. If I'm honest, in that game, I felt like they absolutely dominated it. And then the second half happened, and defensively, mate. I know people go on about Rico Lewis, but what do you boys think of Rico Lewis?
I don't get him at all. I think he plays the simple pass way too often.
I can't remember watching it. I don't think I watched the game, so I can't comment on him on that game.
Fair enough. Just in general, I think he has so many mistakes in him. I think City's defensive side has so many mistakes in it. He's part of it, but like, it's not. To be honest, I don't want to blame it on the young guy because also I think City are kind of
really good first half.
They feel like they're at the end of their cycle though. Like a few players now, I'm watching. Like I love Bernardo Silva. He does not look like himself for a while. Gundogan,
Gundogan's the main one, isn't he?
What Gundogan has come to City?
You said this last week, Toby, didn't you? I'm sure you said this exact thing last week that even the signings that Pep is making are like aged players. He's like looking at the now rather than like everything else he's done previously. There's always been like a tinge of the future in his sights. I think that's what it was about him or Arteta going first, wasn't it? I think Pep is preparing for the end. Let's say genuinely.
It'd be weird for him to leave not winning a league, and it kind of feels like that.
Yeah, it would. But to be fair, it would not surprise me at all if they just go and win it.
They look bad though.
No. But that's when they'll do it.
No, I know he's saying this.
How
many players in the prime at City?
Haaland, Foden is that? Yeah, and Rodri's out for a year.
Rodri is.
Yeah,
Bernardo's not. Gundogan's not. Kovacic isn't. Stones isn't. Ederson isn't. Walker isn't. What are we doing? And
Ruben Diaz is maybe
where Diaz is a good shout.
Yeah.
And Lewis, that Simpson Pewsy, even
Gvardiol is great.
Though.
Yeah.
But there's not like there's not a good balance there. There's old lads, there's new, and there's no real players in the prime. You look back 3 years ago, all of them were pretty much performing like every week. But now it's terrible. Even without Rodri, it's even worse.
Yeah,
I actually think people talking about Rodri winning Ballon d'Or. I don't know about you lads. I think he should have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think Toby, you were more Vinicius, weren't you?
I was on the fence, but I understood it. Yeah.
Well, it turns out the best argument.
You're a racist for saying that, by the way. Just got to throw that one in there.
Yeah, no, I entirely know.
Yeah, I've put you guys in Ku Klux Klan outfits.
Change my banner.
I can see that white hat in the background, Scaife.
Yeah, got tucked it away. No, no, but people saying Rodri should have won the Ballon d'Or, and we're trying to convince them why. I think it turns out the best argument was just to say, "Well, watch City without him." Like that, the best argument for him winning it was when he wasn't playing. Ironically, They've been so bad.
But people don't watch games, do they? Because people are saying, "Oh, they're still," until like recent last couple of games, they're just saying, "Oh, well, they're still top at league. They're still winning games." But the performances were not as good even when they were winning before recently. But people just don't watch football, do they? They'll just go, "Oh, well, win equals good, regardless of how they're playing."
Well, it's like even with the 4 losses. Definitely, that Belieber guy was class, I thought. But just to touch on City before we touch on Brighton, the 4 losses like prior to that Wolves game, they nicked it in the last minute. They played Southampton at home and won 1-0. Like that's not City. Those are not City things, and that's what makes me think. The kind of run they usually go on, especially when they compete with when Liverpool were at their best, and they'd win 25 games on the spin or something. This side are not doing that. They're not going to do that. But I don't see a world where that happens. They just do not look solid enough. They concede goals every game. It feels like they are. I don't know. There's a lot to do there. There's a lot to do at City. I think.
You see what happens when De Bruyne comes back. Do you know what I mean? Because he'll come back for his annual
For how long though?
Being best player ever.
Again though, for how long?
Depends what the gap's like. But it also depends what they're going to do in January, because I feel like I ain't seen City spend lots of money in a while.
Yeah.
So
what was their summer business? Was it just Savinho?
I think so.
But do you think they're going to spend heavy with the kind of idea in the back of the mind that Pep's going to leave, going to be last season? Why spend heavy now when you're getting a new manager and give him more money?
That's the question. That's the question.
The sporting director left as well, didn't it?
Yeah. Chicky. Yeah.
So that's a big one. It's telling that people that have been at City for ages are like teetering on edge with stuff, regardless of like the charges and that they've got like hanging over their heads, regardless of the outcome of that. I was thinking
about this earlier. Is there a world, like obviously we've seen Mbappe kind of struggling at Real Madrid. He's forced to play up front because Vinny's on the left naturally. Like you're not going to displace Vinny anyway. Is there a world that Haaland maybe fancies, I don't know, a change? Like he's been at City a few years, killed it obviously, won a treble, won the league, and goes Real Madrid. Look, and Mbappe's not happy, doesn't want to play striker. Is there a world where maybe even we end up with maybe Mbappe at City and Haaland goes the other way?
Think of how much money Mbappe is going to be on, regardless of what
everyone says. But Haaland and Mbappe would kind of work out, not too dissimilar, I think, in terms of structure.
No way. Surely not. Mbappe's just got 100 million sign on. He's got to be on about 700 grand a week, surely. City are not paying that. What is Haaland on? I'm having a look.
I don't know. I was more, to be honest, it was more out of intrigue for the other way round, I think, where I think, obviously, Real Madrid got that Endrick kid, and he's looking to be a striker in the future, but like, I don't know, Haaland at Real kind of, I don't know,
apparently
I could see it.
Bonuses included, is on 865 grand a week, Haaland.
That's not bad, is it?
His base is 375, but then with the bonuses, it takes him to 850, apparently, just based on how many he's scoring and stuff like that, man of matches and stuff.
That's like, can we just have like 1 week of his wages?
It's great. I know, we wouldn't miss that, would it? Like, come on, man.
I know. Imagine how many packs would you buy with that?
No one.
Anyway, Brighton, you did bring up, and João Pedro returns, as did O'Reilly, and they both kind of made a big impact, really. João Pedro is just a wicked player, I think. I think he's just really good. Like, it's a bit of Brighton recruitment, as is that Belieber. Scape, you were talking about him just before
he's a right player. The lad, the midfield, is it Ayari, something like that? Wicked against us. Probably their best player against us. Yeah. And I'm thinking him with Isak and Gyökeres up front when they play. Kulusevski as well. Could be a little side there, guys.
That's got Dark Horse's first round exit.
It's got Turkey written all over it again.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. What were like?
Poor. It was poor.
Were it?
Didn't do a lot, yeah.
Dingra and Matoma's looked half decent this year. Dingra's looked really good. But the centre halves, I'm not convinced this year. I think Van Ek's, he's a good centre half, but he has too many mistakes in my opinion. He made at least 2 against us. That ego, I feel like ego's probably talking point. The way he dealt with Haaland, he just stayed aggressive, just stayed tight to him, caused a nuisance.
Yeah, I mean Haaland got a goal. He could have had, like I said, first half. To be honest, City that was probably the best I've seen them play in this tricky period. Really, like they actually were quite good. But second half was just good. Defensively a mess. Yeah, Cover was good. But as for Brighton, all their players really highly rated, other than Matt Weaver.
Guys, give him time.
Most underrated player in the Premier League.
Yeah, he is trash. But speaking of trash, Arsenal took on my club, Chelsea. I did. No, wrong way around, George. We're third. We're third in the league.
I can't believe that.
I don't know what you can't believe. When we did our prediction at the start of the season, lads, I was telling you guys we'll be fourth. We'll be around there. We're not that bad.
I agreed with you, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. George had 8th or 9th, something like that.
I had Tottenham above you, yeah.
Yeah, that and mate, look, we'll get on to them because Callum. We need to apologise to Callum. We need to apologise to Callum this week. But yeah, Chelsea, Arsenal. I thought both teams were a bit safe. It didn't. I don't know. I didn't think the game.
I think you're bad breaking down a block. In my opinion, you're really good on counter. You got a lot of players who are good on the ball, good with pace, running at defenders. But it's like against us, Casado played that ball into Jackson round the side of Van Dijk. It was a great ball. I saw none of that yesterday against Arsenal. I mean, the goal came from outside the box, so I think that says it all, really.
Yeah, there was like a cross from Neto that Gusto should have scored from, but there wasn't a lot we were creating. And yeah, I don't know. I think Enzo gets a lot of flack from Chelsea fans and like rival fans. Obviously, price-wise, I get that. But like, as good as Lavia is, Chelsea create more with him on the pitch. Like he just forces the ball to Palmer more, so Palmer gets more touches. So we end up doing more because he's got more of the ball. But yeah, I didn't think he had a good game yesterday, Palmer. I thought Neto was like our only good attacker, really. But yeah,
Caicedo were good again.
Yeah.
And Cucurella were really good. That's probably the best game I've seen him have.
Cucurella is the bollocks. I absolutely love him. He's an absolute bollocks. He really is. Saka, he checked his pockets when he got home and Saka limped out of them. He really, honestly, he had him locked. Absolutely locked. I was, big fan of Cucurella's performance. But yeah, Caicedo again, like, I'm not having it when people talk about Declan Rice. Can't lace his boots.
Caicedo's him. He's actually
he is him. He's wicked. Honest, George. Do you know? Yeah. When we're talking about if Slot came in a year earlier, if you lot had Caicedo, like fucking hell.
Or
honestly, yeah. We were in for both, weren't we? Honestly, I think if you had McAllister, him, and I suppose it's two of Brighton, and then I don't know, Gravenberch with them. I think you'd be running away with it. Honestly,
as a 3.
Maybe not exactly, but you get my point. Like if you had that play, it'd be a good player for you guys to have. He's wicked. But it's nice to see Arsenal 9 points off this early. Are they out of it?
Oh yeah.
No.
Well, no, that's naive, isn't it? But they were looking like it.
But they, like we run about earlier with Liverpool's. Well, I just keep bringing it up. Liverpool's fixtures and that it's been fairly easy for him so far. Apart from like 2 games, Arsenal's has been hard. Arsenal have had a tough start. But if they get on a run where they're playing out like Dross down at bottom in a row, they'll catch up eventually, I think. I'm not writing them off yet.
I wouldn't write them off yet. And I do agree. They've played Villa away. They've played us away. They played City away. Liverpool at home. Newcastle away. That's a number. And Spurs away. So they've had a number of tough fixtures, obviously. That said, performance-wise, it's dropping points at home to Brighton. It's losing away at Bournemouth, etc. That I think probably rings more alarm bells for them. Like, when I watched, I don't know. The thing is, it's like yesterday I was watching that game. I'm not looking, even with like they had full strength yesterday. I thought Odegaard was their best player, despite being out for 6-7 weeks. Easily, like set up the goal. Bob Sanchez doing Bob Sanchez things again, obviously. But even then, I'm watching them. I'm like, these lot winning the league. So they don't look as good as you. They just don't look as good as you. And what I would agree with what you said in terms of catching up point-wise, Callum, is that like I actually think they're more capable of putting a really big run of wins together than City are at the moment. Even with form-wise, I just think Arsenal are more capable of doing that. But even then, I don't know. They just don't look. There's not enough. There's not a lot of goals in there other than the centre backs. And then
there ain't.
Odegaard adds a bit more creativity, so it will get them more results. But that they're not coping well with, like, that's one injury. And I know Arteta's saying like this is the biggest crisis the world's ever seen. I really enjoyed it when Van Dijk actually said it after the game, when they were like, them with their injuries, and Van Dijk went, what, 2? They have 2 injuries, don't they? It was like, what is it? And it's true. Like, if you're not being able to adapt without, obviously he's a key player, Odegaard, of course. I don't know. I just think surely you have more solutions than just being like, we just don't win any games. We're just not going to win any games without him.
The Newcastle one for me. The Newcastle one that looked really bad, didn't they?
Yeah. It was just crosses and set pieces, wasn't it?
Yeah, they just look void of ideas if they've got certain things just not going the way. They've got no plan B, it looks like.
There's no plan. I mean, we're talking about the lack of creativity, no goals, while they play 4 centre halves and 2 defensive midfielders in front of them.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, there's going to be no goals. There's no recognised number 9 still. Havertz thinks been all right.
Yeah, they got a centre half up top.
Chances. Look at Trossard at the end. Was it offside, that one? Might have been, but still.
Yeah.
Sums them up yesterday.
They might drop a bomb on Gyökeres in January. That might be it. But he's a big one on like running in behind, stuff like that, isn't he? So it's like, can they approach it with the patience like Man City do with Ireland? Because he was the same thing, weren't he? Ireland, like explosive in behind, and he's had to change his game. Can Arsenal do that, really?
That's a good point.
Uncomfortable conversations, like the Pep one, can they give Arteta more money to that extent of Gyökeres? Like the most.
That's what I mean. They've given him a lot of trust.
500 million? Said, 600?
Yeah. Havertz is on he's on £300,000 a week. 65 million, and he was bought as a midfield. Also, I do want to bring up I think he gets away with it, and he does get away with it because he's English, and R2 got a lot of flack for it. But they're £100 million midfielder, right?
Yeah.
Has the midfield got better taking Xhaka out of it and adding Rice?
Well, no. Look what Xhaka's gone on to achieve. He's like twice the player.
Yeah,
now.
No, it has.
Has it?
Yeah. I think the best thing that they've done, as much as I hate him, is bringing Partey back in. He's a great player. As much as he shouldn't start, as much as he should be getting bent over in a cell, he is mint. See, I thought against Chelsea, Odegaard was the best player, but I think Partey was very good against him. He's just so, honestly.
Against us, he was very good at right back.
He's just there all the time. I feel like you could just never get away from him.
I think he's more impactful for their midfield than Rice.
Yeah,
I do.
I agree with that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I kind of look at Rice and I think, is he there to take corners? Is that his? Surely not. Is that? I don't know. Honestly, I'm not even taking the piss. I just, I don't see what a lot of people see with that player.
What has Satnav just said, by the way? Are you seeing that? What is he trying to insinuate there?
You need to read up on the.
Yeah, come on, man.
Well, thing that Callum was referring to anyway. But yeah, I don't know with Arsenal, and I quite enjoyed. I saw some Liverpool fans actually making the same comment that they were quite encouraged by Arteta's post-match words, and he basically said that they dominated the game, and I don't think anyone watched that game and felt like Arsenal dominated the game. I think it was a fairly even, safe game, right? Yeah. And it's the fact that like there's not a demand for more there, like, or actually being like, no, we need to sort this out. Like it shows like a contentness with performance, which
the fans are going through a stage of like realization, aren't they? Where this ain't all rainbows and sunshine with Arteta. Some of them are starting to question. Some of them are Arteta out. Some of them have been for ages. I don't know why. Isn't that league gunner?
I fucking love him. I think he's hilarious. I think he's absolutely hilarious. It made me laugh when he did this clip and he was going. He was like, oh, but if we get Arteta gone and we get someone else and he doesn't do well, you'll want him sacked as well. And he was like, yeah, now you're getting it. Sack him. Sack him until we win something, and if he doesn't win something, you sack him again. I'm like,
Chelsea way, baby.
Yeah, he is. He's got the Roman mentality, man. But yeah, I quite enjoyed it because, it does seem to come from this place of like, we're the high and mighty, and we've built this amazing thing that's 1-0, and we put the pressure on every year, guys. We really put that pressure on, and not only that, I'll be real. The last 2 years when City have won the league, I don't think they've been. Like even in their treble-winning year, like that was their league to lose. That, I don't think they are as good. The teams that Klopp competed with, George, that's why I didn't want my point misconstrued earlier in terms of playing down what he did in the past. Like those City teams, they were unreal. The last 2 years, I do think they've looked far more susceptible, or they've had some weird runs where they've dropped loads of points, but then they've still managed to do enough. Yeah, like last season, there was a spell where they like didn't win for 4 games in a row. When they were competing with you, it was like both of you would win every week, and that was it. But with us, I don't know. Have they had? They had a good 2 years putting the pressure on. They maybe should have paid more attention to the domestic cups or Europa Leagues.
Yeah, they got a dog.
Maybe that'll be that.
Team photos.
Yeah, they got win the dog. Yeah.
The player didn't ever walk alone at training. Woohoo!
That's true. That was that 4-0 win for Liverpool, I think.
I think so, yeah, just before. Yeah.
I think this year they brought in pickpocketers in the summer, didn't they?
Oh god,
Unreal technique. Jesus, what are they now? 5th?
Yeah, someone's pickpocketed.
They're actually 4th.
They've pickpocketed all their creativity. They've just filled it with centre backs. But yeah, it's enjoyable watching them like this. Where it's nice for me because we've had 2 crap years, obviously, since the new owners came in. I feel like this year, even though we lost that City and Liverpool game, well, the Champions League win the year before, we're not that bad. But those 2 games, like the City and Liverpool game, we lost and we drew yesterday. But I feel like the gap is so much closer now. Like those were competitive games. If Bob Sanchez didn't have holes in his hands and no brain, I actually, I think with like a competent keeper, we'd be pretty up there.
I mean, you've only bought 9 in the last like 2 years. Surely one of them can be half decent.
Yeah, well, you think so, Callum, but you've got one and you think he's crap. So
he's been benched for someone we got from Hartlepool on a free, and he got relegated
to
non-league.
There you go. So
he won for the first 2 games, and then he just couldn't be asked anymore.
R.I.P. man, Gaga. I don't think we'll be making it here, but yeah. I'm reasonably happy with 3rd. Could be more, could be worse. Is what it is. But the rest of the games this week, United won a game of football and they won a game 3-0. Rude. Should they sack Amorim? Give him the job?
Yeah, probably. It won't be long. Keep it a year.
Give it Rude to end the season.
Can we talk about the glaringly obvious that's all staring at us right now? Can we get to it, Toby?
Yeah, go on.
Ipswich is staying up, boys, and I told you all. Scare if you're me.
George, we need to apologise.
I'll give you a cash out on that. I'm so
you lost.
From August to November, we have taken the piss.
Of the year they've won.
We have taken the piss for 4 months out of Callum for backing Ipswich and us, and they haven't won a game. And lo and behold, Spurs, who gave Palace their first win of the season and only win still, have decided to hand them out now to Ipswich.
And it's not like it were like a Fugazi.
No, not at all. They hit the bar. Yeah.
Right side. No.
Match today, Jobby.
I haven't even seen that. I just watched highlights of that game. That's the only one I've seen, I think.
Brilliant. It's in the goal.
Sammy Smodic, spiky, kind of a bikey, bit more overhead.
The defending on that was so poor.
That Dragusin, whenever I watch this Dragusin guy, whenever Van der Venzel was injured or whatever, I think he looks crap. He looks crap, man.
Why did he come in at the first place?
I don't know.
He gave it as a backup, didn't he? Surely, because he was never going to come in and instantly get in over them 2. So he must have known what he come in for. But then I've seen him cry that he wants to leave because he's not getting game time.
I was thinking you should know why, mate. Just watch your own performances, and I think you'll know why. But yeah, Big Ange, he's I don't know what's going on there. Like, it's just I think this is the case, and I think Spurs fans are very aware of it. They're not. They're not from the pretentious level of we came second and put the pressure on. They're not like that. Spurs know they're Spurs, but they want to know why the fuck they're Spurs and they don't want to be Spurs. And I think the managers all go through this same thing. Like Conte had it. I saw his interview from when he got sacked actually today. That Conte, Mourinho obviously had it. It doesn't matter who's in charge of Spurs. Spurs DNA is just too strong.
But it must change. Well, he always wins up and he's like, what is this, his second year? He always wins up, doesn't he? So the only chance is surely Europa League.
Or FA Cup, yeah. Oh, no, and Carabao. They're in the Carabao, I think.
Yeah, but they got Man United at home. They'll lose that. Amorim will like it. No. Big game, getting a bit close to a proper stage. I think they'll lose that.
I just find them hilarious, man. What club, right? They have the Brighton crumble where they're 2-0 up and they lose. Brighton are a decent side. It can happen. It's a shocker. It's a very Spurs result, but it can happen. They go and batter West Ham 4-1. It's like, right, they're up for it. Then they go and lose to Palace, who hadn't won a game all season. It's like, right, that's really Spurs. Like, surely this is going to stop. They go and smash. Who was it first? Was it Villa or City first?
Yeah.
They smashed Villa, who are competing for top 4, convincingly as well. They played really well. They go and knock City out the cup, and then
Europa League game. So poor.
Yeah, they lose in Turkey, and then go and lose to Ipswich, who hadn't won a game all season. Like what club is doing it like Tottenham? But they're so unserious. I can't understand what it is because you can see from Ange's interviews when these results have already happened. Like, it's not like, okay, this is the first time. We've seen loads of these results happen, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Like, I need to get through these players. I'm going to change the culture, and he does all this. But then it keeps happening. So it's like, it's like so that club is cursed. I honestly think that club is cursed. Like, there's nothing to fix it. I almost want to see Pep go there. I want to see an experiment of like.
No. He'd end up like he'd just retire on spot. I think. No team.
More hair.
I cannot. I just cannot accept, as good as he was for like the 5 or 6 games that he had, the purple patch. If you are a serious team and you've got Brennan Johnson starting for you, you are crap. I think he's shit. I cannot stress enough how bad I think he is, regardless of them 5 or 6 games.
Back post.
Shut up, Scaff. I think he's crap. Seriously, Brennan Johnson is awful. So if he's starting for you, then you've got a problem on your hands, haven't you?
Do you think it's a bit of when like Almiron went a bit mental for a bit?
Yeah, it's literally exactly like that. It's just not him. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really. They're one to just not. You can't wrap your head around them. They're just Spurs. I don't know. I don't know how it changes because, like I said, you look at someone like Conte. He won everywhere he went. He goes to Spurs, and by the end, he's like, "What the fuck is this?" And then he goes. He's now at Napoli, and they're top of the league. Like his formula still works. Mourinho, even though that is a Mourinho that's certainly not in his best years or whatever, he won everywhere he went. He goes to Spurs. He doesn't win anything. Obviously, sacked when he's in the final that week. He goes to Roma and wins a cup. And since then, Roma have sacked like 3 managers already.
Yeah.
It's that. Yeah, they're cursed, man. They're absolutely cursed. But I think there was one more thing that I wanted. Oh, that was it. We'll round off with, I think, the Premier League's entertainers at the moment. Another goal fest.
Fulham.
No. Well, Fulham have actually been good, but yeah, Brentford. I was going to say Griffin
you said
Park.
The Premier League entertainers. Mate, Fulham have been that.
Fulham have been good, but Brentford at home, not at Griffin Park. I can't remember the name of the stadium, but
anyone else?
It's the Brentford Community Stadium, I think, mate, because they sold the soul for a bit of brass.
Yeah, shout out Griffin Park though. That's a proper crowd. But mate, 3-2. They've had what 4-3 against Ipswich.
Yeah,
there was another 4-3 the week before. Like they're just scoring goals for fun. Well, and the other team scoring goals for fun as well.
At 3 p.m. I was in the ground watching this game.
Yeah,
I actually did watch it. Have you seen the goal from Whistle where he chips over keeper? No. Knocks it round the side, mate. What a goal! I think I've actually spoken about this on my Premier League review show, guys. So go and watch that one. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I think Brentford are like the character team. You know what I mean? I think they've got a lot of lads there. They've got the least changes, I believe, in the Premier League this year. So quite a structured team. However, the Fulham game was like the opposite. I mean, the crumbles last minute. 2 goals to Harry Wilson, but this time
and they were awful, weren't they?
So better, to be honest. This time, come back twice from losing positions. Whistle was on fire. Damsgaard was brilliant. The receding man in the middle, he was great.
What? The receding man.
No, he's got quite a poor airline. I mean,
he's just picked people that got goal contributions and said that they were all good.
I genuinely watched this game as well.
Skaves watched it on the FPL.
Said, these 2 were really good. 2 goals. Damsgaard really good. Scored. Yano, he's really good as well. Assist. Okay.
Oh, you're looking at it. You're looking at a flash goal. You can keep it permanently open. Talk about Ipswich because he never bloody watches them.
Well, that would have been illegal because it were at 2:00 on the Sunday when there was another game on, so that would not have been legal to watch that game.
I watched Brentford Bournemouth. Did you watch Ipswich?
That's because you were there.
Exactly. Yeah, you were in ground.
Tickets.
You probably could get tickets to Brentford.
But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one. I thought because on Callum's channel we do the preview ones. But yeah, so I was just going to say with Bournemouth, I feel like the manager set himself like they'd be doing well, so he went, "Fuck it, let's get Kepa in goal and spice it up. Let's make it a challenge."
So bad, yeah.
Because there was one goal at the near post, and Bob Sanchez went, "Anything you can do, I can also do, mate." My 2 shit keepers that have stressed me out so much over the years.
I'm going to give you three guesses as to who the most underrated player in that game was, or like the best player. You'd be like, "Wow, he was really good." And I think this season's been really good.
Let me get Sofa Scar up. Hold on, let me see what
I'm going to go. Callum,
this man has it open permanently.
I know it.
He doesn't. I bet he knows it as well.
It's Matt Sweefer.
It's not Max. It's not Weefer.
The most underrated one.
Yeah, it was brilliant.
You better not say Ethan Pinnock when I've been like singing his praises this long.
Oh, because you made a video once. No, it's not him.
Well, he was from Basel, mate, so I wouldn't know. Who are you gonna say for this? You're gonna say Zabarani, him.
Zabani, he is brilliant, but no, not him.
Oh, go on then, tell me.
Lewis Cook. superb in that game. And they lost.
Superb.
Look at your reactions to that. You're like, oh, he's called Lewis Cook. What a performance he had.
Yeah, true. If we were called Coutinho or something and he was from Spain, everybody would be like,
Lucio
Coutinho,
Coutinho,
fucking losing it.
Okay, cool. Sorry, my mic had unplugged itself, so I couldn't answer this question. I do agree. Lewis Cook's been good. Lewis Cook's been good. Shout out Kirkes as well. I think he's wicked.
I want him. I think, yeah. Robertson kind of 2.0. Got an engine, isn't he?
Do you not think Robinson makes more sense? Like Robertson to Robinson?
Yeah, but that's not the hype anymore.
He's good. I don't know. I think Robinson's is... But either way, I think they'd be pretty good options, and that's where Liverpool needs to strengthen. But
another one. Moreno at Nottingham Forest, really good.
Yeah, you've already had a great left. You had a great. He has been great. You've had a great left back called Moreno a few years ago. I remember.
Yeah, you were the best.
I've met him. Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah. Is it a Leeds?
What do you mean?
I don't know why. It was at York Ground.
Local
lad.
Day.
Yeah, I think it was Villarreal had a friendly. I don't know what it was. Let's do off the cuff a combined Nottingham Forest Bournemouth team in goal.
Oh my god. Matt Sells. Yeah.
Goal. Left back for me has to go with Moreno at Nottingham Forest. Right back has to be Lorena. Centre backs. I'd
go Kirkes left back.
Yeah, with Kirkes left back.
Kirkes left back.
I'm all right with that. I'd go Zabani, but this year's Senesi, I think, and then that fellow, that Milinkovic, probably in there.
Or not Murillo.
I'd have both Forest centre halves.
Yeah, I'd go both. I'd go Milinkovic.
Senesi's been good. Senesi's been really good.
I like Zabani, but I'd go with the Forest dudes. Midfield. Elliot Anderson's playing like Messi at times.
True.
Do you reckon? I thought he was poor against Newcastle.
No, he was, but in general this season he's been all right, isn't he? I'll get Gibbs White in there. I like Gibbs White. Lewis Cook. I like Gibbs White.
Gibbs White, Cook, and then I reckon Ryan Yates this season been really good. He should have got booked like 4 times.
Oh, Ryan Yates is a shin kicker. Get him out.
Yeah, but you know what you're going to get with him.
He's a league
exactly where you are.
He is. Yeah, he is he just runs around kicking shins. I'm not having him.
Semenyo's got to be in. Semenyo's a baller.
Semenyo, Hudson-Odoi, I think.
Hudson-Odoi. Chris Wood up top.
And then Chrissy up top, yeah.
Chris Wood, yeah.
Everyone else is good,
though. He's good, isn't he? I know he's a £40 million striker. You'd think he'd be all right.
Porto to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was playing Champions League last season. But yeah, I thought we'll wrap up with one last question because I think me and Callum discussed it last week when Scaife was slacking. He was playing guitar on TikTok lives. He didn't want to join us. But
it did happen.
I think Callum, we said, but I'm not the biggest fan of like changing who I think is going to win the league. But I think, and I do think I think Liverpool will win it. But I want to know. I want to know where you boys are at with it. Like, do you think even though it's early doors and the other two could come back, but the way things are looking, do you think who would you? If you put a tenner on tomorrow for someone to win the league, who are you going with?
So I started with Arsenal, and then I changed it to City last week. Based on that, I think Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win Champions League. Can they win both? Have they got the squad for that? In middle, especially.
Yeah,
we've got the centre halves for that, in my opinion. If one of them goes down, we're buggered.
So I think they fall off in league then. So I'm still saying, I'm saying City. Regardless of everything that's happened.
You're going to do it, George? You're going to do it? Doing great.
Get it to yourself, Steve. Come on.
They put the best case possible forward, right? So Liverpool.
Okay, so this episode of Prem, George has said they should have sacked Klopp ages ago. He said, fuck him. He's awful. That's what he said.
I'm in the back pages tomorrow.
Yeah, he said they would have won the league last year if Slot had come, and now this year they could have been winning the treble. That's basically what he said. So yeah, it's exciting. I'd rather you win it than Arsenal anyway, and I was worried Arsenal were going to win it this year. So it's good stuff to see. But yeah, make sure to follow those boys. Not follow them. This isn't TikTok. This is YouTube. Subscribe to these boys. Their links are in the description below. Make sure to hit like and subscribe on here. Helps me out a lot. Let's YouTube know it's a place to be. In a bit, guys. Up the shills.